Warbirds, World Cups, and buses are just some of the new releases this week in the simulation world. Hi there, folks. My name's NovaWrap24, and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are on Sunday, the 11th of December, 2022, for the final NovaWrap for 2022. And in fact, there's be a little bit of an announcement regarding the future of the NovaWrap at the end of this video, but that is in the future. Let's, in the meantime, jump straight into it with the releases of the week that was, starting with the team over at AnyBuilds releasing their first Warbird for Microsoft Flight Simulator with the release of their rendition of the Curtiss P40F WarHawk. So the WarHawk is a very iconic World War II fighter that saw service around the globe and is powered by a British-designed Merlin engine. Now, this rendition of the aircraft gives us a highly accurate 3D model, both internally and externally, as well as giving us the authentically modeled, detailed, and sound set to go with that said beautiful Merlin engine. Includes custom flight dynamics, and a fully functional fuel system, leveraging the new mechanics of the latest sim updates for MSFS, and as well as giving us the feeling of flying an authentic Warbird. It also has a couple of mod cons in there for those who feel that they can't live without their modern radios or modern movie map displays. Also gives us a couple of different features and controls of various animations are included with the aircraft. Includes custom lighting, including the use of the UV glowing materials inside the cockpit for various gauges and needles to allow you to fly in all types of weather. Includes a number of authentic liveries are also packaged with this add-on, and it's I got to say, it looks absolutely stunning. It looks incredible. It's one of my it is up there as being amongst my favorite Warbird aircraft, that is for sure. Now, if you want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you pick this one up for $19 or your original equivalent, available now from AnyBuilds. In another aircraft release now for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the team over at Got Friends released their long-awaited release of their edition of the PZL-104 Wilga aircraft for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this aircraft, of course, has been very quite well known in the US for a particular stunt version of it, but it serves as a fascinating little agricultural and glider towing aircraft, as well as just a general sort of GA aeroplane. Now, this particular aircraft has been released with a highly detailed and authentic external and internal 3D model, with quite a significant number of options made available to us. In terms of the cockpit, you get both the original Polish manufactured internal cockpit, but you also have a fully English gauge supported variant as well. You also get the option of having a modern avionics suite. If you can't deal without your glass cockpit, you do have that option available to you. And the team over at Got Friends is not just only giving us an outstanding aircraft with the Wilga. They're also giving us an inclusion of a handcrafted scenery perfectly designed to go with this aircraft for the release of their Forward Farm scenery in partnership with Emerald Scenery Design. Now, as well as the basic variant, the 35A variant, you also get the 35H, 35P, and 35X variants, including different engine variations, as well as options for floats and 2 different sizes of Alaskan bush tires. So no matter where you want to go in the world, this aircraft will absolutely be able to take you there. And if you want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $35 or your original equivalent, available now from Got Friends. Moving into scenery releases now for Microsoft Flight Simulator, the team over at Oldenburg released this week the release of their McCall Municipal Airport as their latest airport release. This one gives us a detailed edition of the airport known as the Gateway to the Backcountry of Idaho, and is probably the most known for it being home for a main United States Fire Service smoke jumper base, and often sees home to a number of firefighting aircraft, most notably various fleets of the Neptune and the Coulson fleet, which is very well known not only to people in the US but also in Australia. So this rendition of the airport includes a detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2022, with custom ground poly, custom ground terrain mesh included throughout to get those undulations in the runways, with a number of with all airside buildings modelled accurately, with a number of custom static aircraft and the custom objects and animations used throughout to be able to give you your authentic airside experience. And if you want to add this one to your collection, you pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And another release, this time from the team over at MXI Designs. This week saw the release of a very topical airport, given that they're hosting the World Cup at the moment, of the release of Doha's Hamad International Airport. So this is the main airport and the home of the base of operations for the Qatari flag carrier airline Qatar Airways. It gives us a very popular and very large airport and very busy airport in the Middle East. Now, this gives us a highly detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2022, with up-to-date ground poly, up-to-date terrain mesh for the airport and all the taxiways, with all airport building models, including a basic terminal interior for the main terminal, including a number of homages to the current FIFA World Cup being hosted there. Full implementation of custom jetways, animated passenger train inside the terminal building, with animated doors of the Qatari Airways hangar. Also includes support for Aerosoft's VDGS module for their working to allow for a working visual guidance docking guidance system. And if you want to add this one and pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you pick this one up for $21 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. In another airport release now, this time from the team over at RD Presets, saw this week the release of their rendition of the Norwegian airport of Bergen Flesland Airport for Microsoft Flight Simulator. So this gives us a detailed rendition of the airport as it appears in 2022, with all airport buildings modelled, custom terrain poly, custom terrain mesh used throughout, as well as a full custom 3D interior for the main airport terminal. Custom ground poly, custom gravitation, we'll talk about all the usual fun stuff, airport layout 2022, usual fun stuff that we've talked about. I really just need to sometimes do this one. If you want to pick this one up, you pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now from RD Presets. I feel like I just sort of stubbed you guys. I didn't mean to, but it's the same feature list for everybody. Anyway, moving on to the next release. So speaking of the next release, this time from the team over at Parallel 42, in the ongoing part of their smaller airport series, was a release this week of 42MG or Mr. Goodbar. So this is you get a couple of dirt strips, dirt and grass strips included. This one, you get a dirt strip and a sandbar strip, which is always fun to land on. In the backed waters of the Sacramento River area and the Sacramento Valley, includes a number of challenging approach methods for you to come in and actually arrive at the airport, as well as a lot of different options no matter what style of aviation you have, whether you're into bush flying, more sedate GA, or even into frantic palm trees. You will find something for you here. It's designed to work with the Parallel 42's campout utility for a couple of suggested campsites that you can lay out all your content. And if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $5 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. And rounding out the Microsoft Flight Simulator release news this week. So this week, from the release from the team over at Seafront Simulations, with the release of their latest in their vessels packs of the Canary Islands, which is incredibly ironic actually, because we just finished in our regular community Twitch stream last night of our tour through the Grand Canaries. If only this was already available. But anyway, so again, like we've seen much of the previous releases from the team over at Seafront, they've produced they've recreated much of the naval traffic that you will see in and around the islands, including populating all of the marinas, giving life to all the marinas, as well as showing the type of traffic that actually goes towards the harbours and the main docking facilities throughout all of the islands. All the custom vessels include full support for PBR models, custom night lighting, with a number of them actually being landable. So for those of you who are wanting to test your mettle, landing your helicopter or maybe your Harrier on them, you absolutely can do on both stationary and moving ships throughout the scenery. And if you want to pick this one up, you can pick this one up for $15 or your original equivalent, available now from Orbix Direct. Moving out of the flight simulation world and moving into the world of the permanent way, the team over Dovetail now for Train Sim World 3 released their latest rail line add-on, with the latest route add-on, with the release of the Bahnstrecke Bremen to Oldenburg route. So this is a sort of a historical, well, I suppose it is historical now, isn't it? But it's set in the late 2000s of a area in northern Germany, which is a frequent supplier of frequencies traffic of both freight and passenger services throughout. Included to get a number of different trains for this one, supported for this one, including the 1950s classic, the Deutsche Bahnhof BR110, as well as the more modern services carried by the BR425. Now, along with this one, you get a number of scenarios included. You get 6 scenarios included with this one, along with 44 kilometers of route from Bremen to Oldenburg. You get 2 main trains, so you get 3 trains included. You get the BR110.3, the BR155, both electric locomotives, and you get the BR425 EMU, also in the Deutsche Bahnhof red livery. Deutsche Bahn. Sorry, Bahnhof is the train station. Deutsche Bahn red livery. You also get a number of rolling stock with freight and passenger cars, $40 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Sticking with trains now, but moving into Train Simulator Classic. So this week from the team over Dovetail Games and developer Repo, the release of their edition of the E60 Electric Locomotive unit. So this is a General Electric designed unit back in the 1970s, and was a common part of the Amtrak fleet during that period. This one gives both the Amtrak and the NJ Transit liveries are included with this one, and soldiers and were finally retired from service in the late 90s. With this highly detailed train, you get both authentic model with authentic controls and railroad specific details, as well as both the access to a pre-started and a cold and dark ready to start version of the train. You also get some different rolling stock, including the Amtrak Amfleet 1 coach and the Cafe car in the Phase 3 livery, all each with detailed interiors, along with 4 custom realistic scenarios, 2 each for the New York New Haven route, and then the other 2 for the North Jersey coast and Morristown Lines route, both available separately. And if you want to add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $20 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. And finally, moving into the world of, particularly with public transport, but moving about to the asphalt now, the team over at OMSI 2 released their latest bus this week with the release of the Digibus Mirage. Now, I've got to admit that I know nothing about this bus, but the first thing that captured my interest was the fact that the name of the bus and the logo of it includes a Mirage F1. So I initially thought that maybe it was a French design bus. Apparently, no. Apparently, it's actually an English design bus. Anyway, so this gives us a detailed rendition of 2 different body lengths of the Mirage, which was one of the largest selling buses in UK bus manufacturing history. Gives the custom 3D model, both internally and external, with custom engine performance based on the 122 horsepower turbocharged 4-cylinder engine for this bus. I was about to say aircraft there. That's not really going to work there. Includes a number of animations and a number of features, including a dashboard with working warning lamps, faults, switches, and gauges, plus unique engine startup procedure, which comes in both of the supported variants of the 850 and the 920. And if you want to pick this one up and add this one to your collection, you can pick this one up for $15 or your original equivalent, available now on Steam. Now, as I said, folks, that does now round out the NovaWrap. But before we go, just a bit of an announcement. As I said, not only this is the last NovaWrap for this year, this is actually going to be the last NovaWrap for an extended period of time. So a bit of an announcement for my community here that I will be starting my hiatus a little bit earlier, and it will be going a little bit longer than normal because early next year, I will actually be not just moving short distance, I'm actually going to be moving countries. So I'm actually going to be emigrating away from Australia, moving on to a new opportunity and looking forward to being reunited with my family. So I am going to be leaving Australia behind, and I'm going to be heading to the US in the end of January. So as such, all my stuff has to get shipped or replaced and all that kind of fun stuff. So sadly, as I said, like I do intend to there will be no NovaWrap and not much YouTube content coming out for me. I do have a stack of reviews that I'm trying desperately to try and work through and deliver quality content to you, the community. But I can't guarantee how much of that I'm going to get out the door before I leave. But I did want to say a huge thank you to you, the viewer, and each and every one of you for making this little corner of the internet a great space, a shared collaborative space where we can come together and we don't always necessarily agree, but a place where we can be comfortable and where we can share our thoughts and hopes and dreams and aspirations for the simulation world. It's been a wonderful journey so far, being able to create content. I was actually reminded not that long ago that it is over 10 years that I have been here on YouTube. But as I said, I'm not going away. I'm going away for a little bit of time, but I will be back in 2023. I just don't quite know when. So as I said, I just want to say a huge thank you to each and every one of you for making 2022 a fantastic year, a great year for the channel, and I hope that you have enjoyed the entertainment and maybe, just maybe, we've got some, we all learned something from this. I know I sure did. So as I said, just thank you very much for helping make our community what I think is probably the best one on best flight simulation virtual community kicking around. Anyway, with that sort of heartfelt message, folks, as I said, I'm wrapping up for the year. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Safe skies to all. Be amazing humans. We will see you on the next video. Bye for now.